go. We are up and we are live. Let's get this out on Twitter real quick. Wait and see who the first in chat is today. Let's see. Just getting this out real fast. All right, so looking like everything is up and running now. And looks like AMC still wants to hold this channel here. So yeah, midday gonna pop over, check AMC options, see how we're looking middle of the week. Gonna go single on the calls just to see where a lot of the attention is. This week, of course, is the December monthlies, and looking like we're still holding up. Both the 30 and 32 range look to be the strongest levels we've got. More interest has come in at the 35 level. So it looks like, everyone's in support of a recapture of the 30 range. Just on these three strikes alone, we're looking at 58,000 contracts that are currently open just from the 30 to 35 range. And it really does surprise that 32 is coming through as strong as it does, because usually people gravitate towards those $5 towards the $5 increments, 30, 35, 40. That, historically that's what we've been seeing lately. And just see that 32 pop in, that kind of leans towards more technical traders looking at the stock and seeing solid dollar markers as key levels. So not too much. We have no contenders at 10,000 anywhere below the $30 mark. And on the put side of the house, with everything going on, and especially with the Fed talk today, seeing the puts hovering at the $20 range, seeing the most open interest there, that is kind of indicative of people thinking this could be a lot of day traders, and they could just be thinking, after the chair talk, prices could just get driven down, and these might be day traders or swing traders just looking to flip and make a quick buck there. So since we're on puts, let's jump on over, check our verticals on the bull put spread, and we can look at this week. Middle of the week, only got 2 days left to go as far as burning out theta on them. And looking at by measuring the puts and seeing most of the open interest on the puts is at the $20 mark. If we look matching at the higher value on the bull put spreads, with them only paying out $10 a premium on $100 of collateral, if you got them and they held to expiration, you're looking at 10% profits right there. To look at the actual quarter that I like pulling, you're looking at the 21 to 22 puts. So, a lot of it just comes down to how little time is left on the week. Hey, Danelle, welcome to the chat. So middle of the week, there's not going to be too much excitement going in, especially, we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the Fed today, wait for the report to come out, and also for the address. Now, going over to next week's bull puts, looking at that $20 range that we're seeing in this week, 22 is not too shabby of a premium to collect. So anywhere between the 19 to 20s and the 20 to 21s, you're collecting a pretty good premium. It will, of course, be an 8-day hold next week. Due to Christmas, the stock market will not be open on Friday, so these have a Thursday expiration date on them. So looking at it, potentially if you're willing to risk the 21 mark, the 20 to 21s paying out $30 a premium, or $29 a premium, but you're right there at that $30 mark. So potentially looking right around a $30 gain or 30% gain, that's not too shabby. If the stock was more stable right now, that is what I'd be looking at. And of course, we broke through that upper channel that I'd built out. I ended up building that out yesterday, just looking at the performance. We have had a little bit of a push down today, but that lower channel, that level of support that I built in at 2250, that is looking to hold up for the day. So if we close out the week either in the lower channel or even move up to the upper channel, that would kind of be an indicator to me that the low end of the option chain as far as running bull put spreads has opened back up again. That's the key indicator that I'd be looking for, because we had the little mini channel here, and that just it didn't hold up for any prolonged period of time. And Prague, of course, jumping over. I built Prague out on the charts here kind of as a high channel, low channel, because I'm thinking about getting into actual swing trading of shares in a limited capacity. As far as, we're in the low end right now, so this would be a prime time to buy shares. And if we run back up closer to the $3 mark, that would be looking for a point to sell some excess shares and just try to increase the position, because anytime you can get a 5 or 10% gain just on flipping shares 2 or 3 days apart, and if it runs back down into the lower channel, that's an indicator to buy back in. So just with these two channels, I'm lining that up to see if there's a potential for the swing trading of shares. Right now, the options on Prague just have not been that good. So I've the two positions that I have, those during this push down we saw early in January or early in December, those lost value almost instantly. So there's no point. Those are sitting at $1. If we do happen to catch a break and it runs up, then as soon as those start ticking up and get any kind of value, I'll be set to close that out and would actually roll those option positions back into buying more shares. And the rollback on those shares would pretty much be, wherever I can get a fill at, I would go ahead and get back in on the shares for that. So with the dual channels here, I do have the yellow horizontal line. That is actually where I am averaged in at right now. So that's just kind of visual indicator for me. If I pop in, look at it, and see, okay, well, I'm still below my average, so I'm still in the buying zone. And if I get up above my average, if I push over that 264, then I'm into the selling zone. So that's just kind of my indicator, and I would actually move that around depending upon, as I buy and sell more. I'll move that to reflect where my current average is. So that's kind of where we're at on Prague right now. I debated, because I did end up picking up enough shares of Prague to where I can start running the wheel on selling covered calls and then selling cash secured puts. But I'm just really not sure about it at this point, because if we jump over to the single options, and so we'll just look at this week initially. in order to play covered calls, it would be at the 250 mark, and depending upon your brokerage, this would have to get put into an increment of 5 cents. So I would end up going for the $10 mark, and as you can see, the bid and ask, it is a 5 and 10 with the last at 9. So depending upon, they may be on a different brokerage, and that's why they're able to get a fill at 9. But some brokerages have it to where you have to enter in, when it's this low of a price, you have to enter into an increment of 5. So for me, it's just with the upside potential of Prog breaking out of the channels they're in right now, $10 is certainly not worth losing those shares on a potential run up. And that's just pretty much why I was looking to avoid running the wheel on Prog. Now popping back over to AMC on the chart, we are on the 30-minute there. We're going to jump into the 1 minute here. So we did see a lot of early morning selling pressure, and of course having that 2250 line tacked in there, we did go down and just about got down, bounced right off the 2250 and started another upward trend. So this 2250 is really looking like it is holding up as a really strong support. We did have the punch through here, but this you have to remember, when you see this gap down, it was on this day, yesterday, that they took out an additional 5 million shares borrowed to short against the stock. So that's a direct reflection of them just shorting the stock into the ground. And as you can see, buying pressure stepped in, and even when I built out the upward channel, or built the upward trend line, I didn't go off that, because when they're coming in and borrowing 5 million shares to go out and straight up short the stock down and try to drive the price down, this is not a realistic representation of any kind of solid trending. And I thought that the secondary push, after we ran up and they pushed us back down, that just looked to be a much better place, from a technical standpoint, to go off of. Now, if you are a purist, people can put, if you're running your own technical analysis and you're charting it out and putting your trend lines, you can totally go off this 2080 mark. That's totally up. It's completely up to you on where you want to build your charting out from. But just if you'd built off of the 2080, and when I put the line in, it would have been a lot steeper, and everyone loves seeing the steep lines. See it go parabolic, rockets to the moon. Hey, D214, welcome to the chat, man. No problem with just popping in to listen, man. But you can build out, you can put the trend lines however you like. But I think that just checking a gradual line gives you a more realistic expectation. If the stock does decide to start running and just boom boom candles all the way up, yeah, your line looks great. But if you're looking for a more consistent gradual return back to where we were, I think it's just a little bit better to soften those lines out and ignore, not particularly ignore, but this was manufactured. They drove that price down, and of course buyers stepped in. That's where we get these huge thick candles coming in. But if you look at the rest of the chart lately, there have been no other instances of that. So that just to look to be more of a special happening, and looking at how the stocks reacted since, we're getting the ups and downs going. So this is one of those instances where just taking a little bit more of a conservative look at it, and I can of course put huge steep lines going all the way to the moon, going up to $50,000 a share, but I like to present a little bit more realistic data, realistic technical analysis on it. And that's why if you look at the channels that I set up, this narrow channel, we were in that running in that channel there for a little while and want to see how it held up. I could have gone. This was a much older support resistance line, which can actually come off of the chart now. We'll go and declutter a bit. But if you look at my bottom tick, well, yeah, we did have the punch through, but if you look at how many times we've played right on that 2250 line. We had 3 taps there, we had a tap there, we had taps today and bouncing off of it. So yeah, I just think that is a more realistic line, more realistic. And just looking to see, going forward, if we continue to hold this through the week, then in my opinion, and what I'd be looking for is that I would actually reopen pulling bull put spreads on AMC. I think we're at this point, as far as my usual. Usually, I like to get covered calls for I would sell covered calls this Friday for the following Friday, or wait till Monday for market open and try and get them on a high volatility run up. Right now, with the potential for a whole bunch of buying pressure, because it really is an awesome sale right now. We're almost getting the stock at 40-50% off, depending upon where some people's averages are. The potential for it to blow right through covered calls is way too dangerous right now. But what I may end up doing is coming back on Thursday, right before the end of the day. Have it set an alarm on my clock. An alarm on my phone to tell me 5-10 minutes before market close to come and have a look at the option chain and look at selling covered calls, which I would turn around and buy to close on Friday morning. Like, as soon as the market's open, wait to see if there's a huge downward volatility spike and look to close them out. And, if I can lock in 50, 60, 70% profit, I'll lock it in, because that's a nice rapid turnaround. When you're looking at potentially only, 15, 30 minutes of open market time, and if you can, from one day to the other, if you can capture, even just, 40% profit, that's still a fast way to strike out, or to strike against the hedge funds, capture a little bit more capital. And with where the share prices are right now, if you can get a covered call contract for, collect $30, $40 premium and walk away from it up $20, $25, well, that's almost another share of AMC that you're buying per contract. So those are kind of the plays that I would be looking at going to the end of this week, and looking forward to the opening of option strategies for next week. Let me jump on here real quick. Other than that, the crypto markets, they are, most everything is down right now. As you can see, what's this, from the 13th, late on the 12th, early in the 13th, has been a huge push down in SHIB. We were up at 37.85. We've bottom ticked. We still haven't broken that 3,000 mark. So as long as, if 3,000 holds up, if you were looking, I know Clay was talking a little bit about people, we're talking for day trading cryptos. If you wanted to keep playing the bounces, as far as, looking at the 32 to 38 range, if it dips down to 32, buy in and sell back out at 38. Depending upon what kind of volume, or not volume, but what kind of capital you're looking at putting in on that. As far as, looking at how many percentage swing that is, if you're getting a 5% swing on $100, you're basically making $5 $5 profit per play, and depending upon how often you jump in and out of the position. I'm more into crypto for a long-term hold. I'm not looking to not looking to day trade or even swing trade cryptos. Most of the crypto positions I'm in, I buy, I hold. If we get a huge run up real fast or a nice steady run up, when those look like they're getting nice and ripe for the picking, I'll skim off some of my position and move it over to others that might be available for a bargain right now. But yeah, Doge of course had a huge run up, ran up tag 22 cents and has since reverted back down to right about 17.5 cents. And looking at the major indices right now, we'll jump on. Oh, I've already got the SPY on here. I don't know. We'll jump on, check the Qs real fast, just to see how they're doing for the day. Yeah, so the Qs, sold off real hard early, caught a little bit of support and continuing to sell off. Looks like they might be picking up a little bit of support and might trade sideways for the rest of the day. We don't know what is coming up with. We don't know what's coming up with the reports. We don't know what's going to be said. Just kind of a dangerous place right now. And of course, the same thing on. Oh, we want the 1 minute. We're going to check the SPY. The SPY, of course, is following the same trend, having a push down, and they're catching support. It looks like that the market might just be looking to be channel bound for the rest of the day and trade sideways. We'll be waiting to see what is said coming up here in just a little while. It looks like, looking at my time, I think we're an hour away from that address, which means we're about 30 minutes away from the report coming out. I actually will not be available for the stream on that. I'll be going back to work here shortly, and just wanted to come out and get a little bit of information out on where the option chains are and potential plays. I know I haven't done a midday stream in a little bit. That's I've got my 8 to 5 job, and just so happened I was able to got home for lunch and had enough time to go over a few things. And if anyone in chat happens to have any questions, any plays they wanted to look at, any technical analysis we wanted to go over, I'm certainly open to that right now. So I'm going to, while we've got a little bit here, it looks like I've got a half hour left. I'm going to jump in and check some other positions here. There might be some things that people either aren't in or haven't looked at. And it does, looking at the portfolio right now, we're actually 50% green right now. Looks like about half the plays. Half the plays are doing pretty good. It actually looks currently like real estate and REITs are a sector that's running fairly good right now. Let's jump over. We looked at this one the other day. It is the Vanguard REIT Trust, or Vanguard REITs, VNQ. And let's jump out to the 30-minute. Looks like it has been it's been up and down throughout this throughout December. It did have two really nice run-ups, gapped up quite nicely. Jump out on the day chart, and of course we know what this was here in March of 2020. We know the event that happened there. But if you look at how nice and gradual, it certainly has been holding up nicely. We're gonna ignore the hard push down in March of 2020. Now there are a couple dips it has had below that trend line in there, but that is a nice, gorgeous upward channel. That's anytime you're looking for a long term investment, I'm talking holding it for years. We're not talking I'm going to hold this for a few months and wait for a run up. This is part of my retirement portfolio, and as you can see, that nice gradual gain. That's what you like to see in a position you're entering. That's why people enter things like the Qs and the SPY and the Schwab or SCHD, the Schwab High Dividend. Oh, yeah, my fingers aren't working right now. Schwab High Dividend. This is another example. Looking at the Schwab High Dividend. I mean, nice, gorgeous upward channel. This is a solid investment. And one thing I wanted to do sometime in the future is, for those who haven't actually started looking towards, what they can do as far as, post MOAS. I was going to, originally when I started doing the streaming, I moved everything off of Webull. That way I could use this kind of as a teaching tool. So what I was thinking is, in the future, coming back through and starting to build kind of a learning portfolio on here, just that we can come in, use a smaller dollar amount, like people, if you have a fixed income but how much per month you can spend investing, just a way to build it out and kind of see how an active portfolio can grow over time. And I'm not sure. I got to look on Webull to see if they have a drip system as far as dividend reinvestment program, because I know some of the other brokerages I use, they have drip on there, and so basically every dividend that I earn automatically gets rolled back into the underlying stock. And we are officially a stream now because Wrestler just popped in with the eggplant. So we can call this an official stream now. What is up, Wrestler? How you doing, man? Now, I did end up in other positions that I did close out some options last week and earlier this week. So I do have, as everyone knows, the potential for a push down on AMC today is definitely very high, with information that could be coming out shortly. So just in case we do see a nice hard push down, I've got a little bit of capital on standby, and depending upon what happens there, I'm still looking at possible options opening up next week. But if worst case scenario we do get pushed down through that 20 level, I'm going to be set to pounce and score some more shares, because that's what I'm all about, is getting more shares together. So, Wrestler, you get any good plays going on right now? Let's get AMC back up on the 1 minute. Anything exciting happening right now? Of course, I'd love to put another upward trend line off tagging that 2250 today. Just your bag holding. Are you referring? I take it you're referring to that really, really fun play you entered. trying to look here. Now, past couple days, I've been checking. Bristol Myers Squibb has actually been yeah, they had a little bit of a push down there. Yeah, they've really rebounded since that 53.23. Yeah, I think now they looking at the RSI, they are getting into the overbought range. So it is possible here on Bristol Myers Squibb that the stock could turn around and enter a little bit of a bearish trend. Just because, looking since the start of December, they had a nice run up. They had a little bit of a pullback, and since not yesterday, but the day before, they've had another huge run up. I kind of want to jump in and look and see if there's anything fundamentally going on. From a technical analysis, if I was looking to get more shares, I'd look for maybe a pullback to right about I'd say 59.50. That would maybe be a good zone to look at here. So where is 59.50? See how close we can get to it. 59.52 is close enough. And of course, I love those gold lines, because when a stock's golden, now wasn't listening, was kind of halfway listening. Is Clay going to be streaming? Is he going to be streaming the conference? Does anyone know? And we're going to check a couple others here. Same thing, consolidated asset. That's one thing when you're going through and building out a portfolio. It is nice to get different stocks from different sectors, because with how beat down the market has been lately. When we're talking the past 3 weeks, the market as a whole has just been getting got pummeled down. I know that the SPYs and the Qs have recovered. They've been trading sideways currently. But you look at since the start of December for Bristol Myers Squibb. Now we're on Consolidated Edison. When the rest of the market is just bleeding out, to look and see two good positions here that are both running on upward trends. It's nice to fill out a portfolio with other sectors, just to protect yourself against say something. We're dealing with a chip shortage going on right now. Some companies aren't getting hit as bad, but if you look at the overall tech market, so some of the smaller stocks might be struggling. But if you can find a couple gems in there that you can use to shore up your positions, especially when the rest of the market's going down, to have a few of them making gains for you. Oh, he's going live at 2:30, I believe. Okay, so that'll be 1:30 my time. So that's 50 minutes away. Okay. So do we have any other? Oh, Medical Property Trust. And of course, this is not an endorsement of any of these any of these positions. It's just kind of taking a peek and seeing where my better performers are doing right now. Looks like they've really had a little bit up and down there. Yeah, this one this is one of the ones I hold because a lot of the positions that I originally started taking were more centered towards real estate, because real estate holdings. Some of the ones I got were companies that lease out warehouse spaces for online shopping, because a lot of people, with everything that was going on, a lot of people weren't going out to shop, and they were doing most of their shopping online. So with that going on, I went ahead and started investing in companies that had warehouse spaces. Medical Property Trust. They own the properties that hospitals lease out. That they have that hospitals have leases with. So a lot of times when you go to the hospitals, it's not actually whatever medical clinic that owns the property. They have a lease with somebody like Medical Property Trust. So it's just a way to invest in a company that has a steady income from all the leases they have. And anytime you get a company that just has stability like that, that's another good position to shore up, something to look for. Hey, Outdoor Smile, thanks for popping in the chat, man. What is? Yeah, just like playing Monopoly here. Let me look at my railroads. Yeah, that is wonderful. Yeah, that's another one that's doing pretty well right now. They did have a little bit of a push down, but farther out you zoom, yeah, they traded kind of sideways for a bit and had a pullback and then started to run up. Hey, Devil's Advocate. Can't stick around but stopping by to drop a like. I like it when people drop a like. I like the likes. In fact, where am I in? Yes, I'm just a little bit up on my average for my railroads. And of course, you playing Monopoly. If you got railroads, let's. I'm having fun with this. Check my railroads now. Let's GWSR. Well, this one's not. Incomplete data. I am not sure what's going on here. Oh! Oh, that's why. My typing is off. GWRS. There we go, Global Water. I was like, wait a minute, where's all my data at? How is a stock's IPO determined? Are you referring to the date or the IPO price? Because a lot of times when a company's setting up for an IPO, they'll give they'll give a range of what they're looking at for their IPO price. And they'll most of the IPOs that I've looked at when I went to go enter in, they kind of want you to have enough capital on standby. You know, you can enter into the IPO, tell them how many shares you want, and even after they give their listed IPO price, they still there still could be a lot of excitement before the IPO hits, and some of them will want you to put up an additional 10 to 12 or 10 to 20% over what they have the IPO listed at, just in case they have problems with liquidity getting the position filled. But a lot of times, a lot of times a company will just determine what they want their IPO set at based on the fundamentals of the company. How much debt do they have? How much cash on hand do they have? Their normal earnings per share, where they traded at, internally, because every company out there has a value to it, and it's just, where are they willing to let the public in at? Are they going to ask for a little bit more money for their IPO price just to generate more revenue for the, as a way to generate capital for the company, and just to try to solidify? Because classic example of IPO pricing. IPO pricing and playing the hype. Let's look at one of the greatest put plays of all time. As a joke, of course. Our good old friend Robinhood. So they came out IPO in, what would that be, was that late July? They came out, had a whole bunch of excitement on the stock. Stock price shot up, and then the bag holding started because they IPO'd around 40, I think it was. They had a little bit of a push down. Was it 40 or 32? I'm pretty sure, because I remember seeing the IPO on this, and I thought it was a $40 IPO. Ran up to 80. So basically, like a 2x in no time at all, and then the sell-off happened, and the people who did not get out have been bag holders. And if they IPO'd at $40 and now they're $17.89 for a low, they are, if they IPO'd at 40, they're, they've taken over 50% loss. Hey Riptide, how's it going, man? Here to drop a like and hang for a bit before the Fed talk. Yeah, Riptide, we're not going to be on here too much longer. I've got 10 minutes left on my lunch, so I've actually got to wrap it up here shortly, and going to be heading back to my 8 to 5 soon. But I will definitely be tuning in and listening to the Fed talk on Claybro stream, because everyone. Because it sounds like Claybro is going to be doing the Fed talk. Jump back over to AMC. So yeah, my takeaway on today is that if AMC does in fact hold up to this 2250 channel through the Fed talk, and if it punches through for a second and recaptures, the same thing that was, of course, the 5 million short shares from yesterday. But if it holds above this 2250 through this week, that will open the door for next week, opening up, start selling bull put spreads again. And any covered calls I do on AMC would be from close Thursday into open Friday, and having those, only having those positions open for the minimum time possible. Sell them right away, and sell the covered calls right away, and try and buy back Monday morning, on downward volatility. Oh my god, I'm getting all kinds of notifications on here now. Normally I don't get notifications on my computer. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming by. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. And it looks like for visitors today, we had Danelle, DD214, Wrestler, Outdoor Smile, Devil's Advocate, and Riptide. Those were the guests in the Viper Pit today. And if you didn't hit the like button on the way in, if you can just smash it on the way out. And anything you can do to help grow the channel. If you wanted to share it on social media, maybe you have a friend or something, and just word of mouth, like, hey, I've got this channel and just trying to build support for it. If you know anyone who might be interested in just popping in to hit that subscribe button and get this channel growing, and certainly help out with the YouTube algorithm, which is kind of a moving target, but and I certainly, hey, you're welcome, Outdoor Smile. And definitely thank you to everyone who came by and spent a little bit of time during your day hearing me ramble about stocks and options, and I look forward to doing it more in the future. And I'll see everybody. Maybe not see you there, but certainly be in on Claybro's live stream, and hopefully we get some good news, and hopefully we get some good stock price movement out of that. So hope each and every one of you have a wonderful afternoon.